So welcome back viewers to the new video of Flutter plus Firebase course. In this video we are going to see how you can create or how user can create his or her account using Google SignUp method in Firebase using Flutter. Basically authenticating the new user using Google SignUp method. So let's get started. Before moving to the coding section of this video, I will like to tell you that I will follow these 6 steps to integrate the Google SignUp method inside my Firebase application. So let's discuss about the steps. So first of all, what I will do, I will install the Google SignIn Plugin inside my pubspec.yaml file. After this, I will create the instance of that Google SignIn, and then I will use the instance of Google SignIn function to call the SignIn function. And then this sign-in function will show the pop-up to choose the account, and when the user chooses the account, it will provide the Google Sign-in account instance. Then I will use this instance to get the authentication instance, Google Sign-in authentication instance, and after this I will create the auth credential class instance and initialize this instance using the Google Auth Provider .credential function. Okay, the credential function requires access token and ID token, and I will provide these two tokens using this Google Sign-in authentication instance that we have created in a step 3. After this, I will use this auth credential instance to create the account inside the Firebase, and when the account created successfully inside the Firebase, it will result to the return of user credential, and this credential will be integrated with the Firebase. So in this way, I will integrate Google SignUp method inside the Firebase application or using Flutter. So let's move to the coding section. So let's come inside our VS Code, and first what I will do, I will install the Google SignIn Plugin inside my pubspec.yaml file. So what I will do, I will open the pubspec.yaml file, and here you can see I have not implemented the dependency yet. So I will implement the dependency inside the dependency section, and then I will click plus and use Google SignIn, and then press enter. So wait for a second to complete. So now you can see that our Google SignIn plugin is now inside the pubspec.yaml file. I will also provide the link of this package inside description, so you can visit there and copy that dependency or paste it manually. So moving forward, I will like to come inside my Firebase authentication.dart file. But first of all, I will like to do is to enable the Google SignUp method inside my Firebase console as well. So I will open the firebase.google.com website. Then I will go to console, and after this I will choose the app, and you need to choose your app and come inside the authentication tab that is here, and come inside the sign-in method. You can see that I have not created any Google Sign-in provider, and the provider is not Google yet. So come inside the sign-in method and then add new provider, and click on Google and enable it. Save it, and then wait for a second. So now you can see that the Google is now enabled, but I need to show something extra to you. So if you get the error that configure SHA-1 certificate in the right side of the pop-up, so just come inside the project setting. And you need to add the SHA-1 certificate here. So do not copy this, it is not your SHA certificate, you need to generate your as well. So just come inside the Visual Studio Code and come inside the Android directory, and then right click on Gradle W and click on open in integrated terminal. After this, type this command, that is Gradle W /Gradle W signing report, and then press enter. Wait for a second to generate the SHA-1 certificate. Okay, wait, it is now configuring, so just wait for a second. So now you can see that the build got successful. So we will get our SHA-1 certificate. Copy this SHA-1 certificate and just click on add fingerprint and paste it here. So I have already provided this SHA-1 certificate, that's why I am not provided. So moving on to the next, we have provided this SHA-1 certificate. Now we need to download the new Google JSON file. So just click on download and then click show in folder and copy this Google Services JSON file that is here, and open your Visual Studio Code and come inside the Android folder and then inside the app folder, and here it is the Google-service.json file. So just click reveal in Explorer and then delete this Google Services JSON file or replace this Google Services JSON file with the new one like this. Make sure you have provided the name which is only contains Google services, not 1, 2 or 3. Any other thing will not be tolerated. So just make sure the name of file is Google services. That's it. And again, so now you are ready inside your Firebase console. So now come inside the coding section of this video. So just come inside the Firebase authentication class that we have made in a previous video where we discussed about how to authenticate user using email and password method. So just below this function, that is create account with email and password, create a new function and I will call it sign up with Google, and it is a future function because it will take time to execute. So I will use async as well, and I need to provide the return type of this function. So it should be a future and the type of this future should be a user. Okay. So basically if there is a successful sign up, then it will return the user and this function will return the user, you can say that. So what I will do, I will first create the instance of our Firebaseauth. So it should be a Firebaseauth and I will call it ins equal to, and initialize this ins with the initialize auth function that we have made in a previous video, and here it is. This is the ins function. So initialize auth. And then moving on to the next, what I will do, I would like to tell you something, and I will integrate the Google SignUp method in 3 platforms, that is Android, iOS and web. So I would like to tell you that both iOS and Android requires the same code, but in the comparison to the web requires a different code to integrate the Google SignUp method. So I need to write the 2 codes, first for web and second for the mobile platform. So I will need to check whether my app is running in web platform or Android platform or iOS platform. So what I will do, I will check if K is web. Okay, you can also check using the platform.iOS or platform.android, but it is not working currently inside the web, so I will prefer K is web. So if it is web, that is our application is running inside the web application, then I will return future dot value and then I will pass the string, but it should require the user because we have a return type of user. And if it is not web, then here should comes the integration of our mobile platform, that is Android or iOS. So I will call it mobile platform. Okay, so let's integrate the Google SignUp method for web application first. So what I will do, so basically integrating the Google SignUp method inside the Firebase Flutter Web app, it requires a auth provider to sign up with pop-up. So it will open the pop-up for you, and the pop-up requires the auth provider. So we need to generate the Google Auth Provider instance, and then we will pass that Auth Provider instance inside our signup with pop-up method, and rest of this thing will be done by the Flutter. So you don't need to take care of anything. So what I will do, I will create the final instance of Google Auth Provider, and I will call it Web Auth Provider, and I will initialize using this constructor, that is Google Auth Provider. And now I will use this ins instance, that is the Firebase instance, to call the sign in with pop-up method. So I will use ins.sign in with pop-up, and it requires the provider. So I have made the provider, that is the Web Auth Provider. I will copy this Web Auth Provider and paste it inside the sign up with pop-up method, and then it will return if the sign in is successful, that is if the sign in is successful by the user and user clicks and choose the account, and Google also provide the sign in function correctly, then it will return the user credential. Okay, that basically our user is now created inside Firebase console, it means. Okay, so I will call it credential, and it is a feature, so I will need to add await as well. So now we have integrated our user with Firebase and we got the credential of the user. So we will check whether the credentials user, that is credential.user, is equal to null, that is something wrong happened and the user is null. So we will simply return future.error, and I will pass user seems to be not valid or appears to be a null. Okay, so now if it's not the case that user is now available, we will simply return the user inside the value constructor. Okay, value function, you can say that. So I will return the inside the value, I will call credential dot user. So now we have integrated our Flutter Web Google SignUp method with Firebase. So now it's time to come inside our mobile platform as well. So basically mobile platform requires these 6 steps that we have made in that we have discussed in previously. So what I will do, I will create a final instance. Our first step is to create the instance of our Google SignIn class. So I will call Google SignIn, and I will call it Google SignIn equal to Google SignIn. Okay, and second thing is to call the sign-in method. Use this Google SignIn method to call the sign-in function. Okay, so I will use Google SignIn method, sign-in instance, to call the sign-in function. Okay, and this sign-in function will return the Google SignIn account. Okay, so it should be a wait, here should be a wait, and then I will handle this or catch this Google SignIn account inside the Google SignIn account instance, Google SignIn account, and I will call it account, and it may be null, so I will put the question mark here, and after this I will use this account instance, that is the Google SignIn account instance, to get the authentication. So what I will do, I will use account.authentication, and then it is a future function, so it will take time, so I will use await, and then I will catch this authentication inside the instance of Google SignIn authentication. So it should be a final Google SignIn authentication, and I will call it authentication, and make sure you provided the null check as well here, because here you can see that the account is null, that's why I use this. So if you don't want to provide it, basically check if account equal to null, then we will return future.error, user dismissed the prompt to select account. Okay, we will return the error. So now we can remove this from here, and now moving on the further, we got the authentication. So this authentication contains 2 tokens, ID token and access token. So in the fourth step I discussed about, I will create the final instance of auth credential class. Okay, so it should be auth credential, and I will call auth credential equal to, and I will initialize this auth credential using Google Auth Provider dot credential, and this credential function requires 2 tokens, that is ID token and access token, and here it is ID token and access token. So I will provide the ID token, and ID token should be inside our authentication instance. So I will call authentication dot ID token, and same access token should be inside the same authentication instance, and I will access the authentication dot access token to provide the access token. So now we need to provide the semicolon. So now we are done. So we got our auth credential so we can use this auth credential to sign in inside the Firebase as well. So I will use this ins that we have made here to call the function called sign in with credential. So what I will do, I will use ins dot sign in with credential, and then I will pass this auth credential inside this credential parameter. And then after the successful sign in inside the Firebase, we will get the same user credential. So I will copy this and then I will paste it same here, and make sure you added the wait because it is a future function. So after this we will check the same. If user is null, we will return the error, otherwise we will return the value like this. Okay, so now we are done. We have successfully integrated our Google SignUp method inside the Flutter Web, Android and iOS. So one thing we need to take care that when the user clicks on the account and our sign up process is in the process, and sometimes it may happen that we got an error, so it will throw some error or exception. So we need to handle that exception as well. So what I will do, I will copy all these code and then I will put it inside. So then I will put it inside the try and catch block. So what I will do, try, and all the code should be inside the try block, and after this on exception I will catch the exception. Okay, and the exception should come inside E. So I will simply return future.error and e.toString. Okay, so now we are done. Okay, so now we can move to the on click part of the widget. So when the user clicks on it, we will call this function, that is sign up with Google. So wherever you want to implement the Google SignUp function, just come inside that and then go inside the on tap of that function and we are using showModalBottomSheet to show the progress of our SignUp method. So that's why I have returned the FutureBuilder, because our SignUp with Google is a future function. So we use FutureBuilder to get the progress or track the progress of our function. And when the when the successful signup occurs, we will come inside the hash data and then we will return the success. If the error occurs, we will return the error, and when our method is in the progress, we will return the in progress widget. And inside the future function, a future variable of the FutureBuilder, I have provided the sign up with Google function. So it will track the progress of this sign up with Google function that we have made right now. So now let's check whether it is working or not. So first of all, I will click on continue with Google to check whether it is working or not. So you can see that missing plugin exception, no plugin found for method. Okay, so we need to restart the app. So just close it and then restart the app. So let's leave it until it's installed the application inside the emulator. Till now what I will do, I will come inside the web and see whether all the requirement to run the web application and integrate the Google SignUp method is provided or not. So just come inside the web section of your application and then inside the index.html file, and make sure you have added the script tag for the auth as well. So just copy the above tag and then instead of app use auth, and after this save it. So basically I have provided this tag in the first video, in the second video I think, where I have talked about how to integrate web application with Firebase, Flutter Web application with Firebase. So just copy this script tag and instead of app use auth. Okay, so now we are ready. So inside the main.dart file, you also need to take this, that platform.isAndroid and platform.is.iOS I have done in the second video, but it is not working. So make sure you used k-isweb and it should be inside the foundation.dart package. Okay, so now we are ready. So our app is now running. So when I click on continue with Google, it will show the prompt to select the account. So wait until it completes. So now I think it will show the prompt, and I think it doesn't provided the prompt, and account successful created. Okay, so when you first rerun the app, then it will show the prompt to you. Select that account and everything will be fine, and you will get the message like this. Okay, so now let's check whether it is created inside the Firebase console as well. So come inside the authentication tab, and here you can see that our user is now created, and the provider is Google, which is not provided previously. I have showed you. Okay, so in this way you can integrate the Google SignUp method inside the mobile platform. So let's check whether it is working inside the web platform or not. So stop this application and choose the Chrome, and then press F5. Okay, and wait to debug it until it debugs it, and run the app. So now our application is running inside the Chrome. So let's check whether it is working or not. So when I click on continue with Google, it will open the prompt like this, and it will tell me to choose the account. So I need to sign up. So it is running inside current. So because it is running inside the Chrome, where I have not signed in till now. So what I will do, I will copy this, and I have closed this. So you can see that I have closed this. So here I will got the error. The pop-up has been closed by the user before finalizing the operation. So we got an error. So close it, and so in this way I have handled the exception. So when the user closes the window, it will show the error. So when the user closes the pop-up, it will show the error inside the Android, iOS and web. So I have copied this URL, and then I will come where I have already signed in. So it will take time to sign in the another window, and Google will tell that click on this. It will take time. So what I will do, I have copied this and then paste it, and it will open the same thing for me. And okay, wait. So now our application is running. So just click on continue with Google, and here it is, account creation is in progress. So it will now show the account. I will click it, and then here we will get the progress about account creation successful. Then I will hit on continue, and let's check whether it is integrated inside Firebase or not. So refresh it. So in the same window where I have used the auth and then user, you can see that our account is now provided with Google. Okay, account is not now available, and the provider is Google. So in this way you can create the account with Google SignUp method in Flutter Web, Android and iOS. So in the next video we will see how we can handle the auth. That is, when the authentication got successful, we will show the home screen, and if the authentication is not and user is not authenticated till now, I will show the sign up screen, and when the user is authenticated, I will show the home screen. So how we will do this, we will see in the next video. So till then, bye bye, and thanks for watching.
We'll be right back.